Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bahja. If this is your first time seeing my face, then hey, welcome to the channel. And if you've been here before, like always, it is an honor and a pleasure to have you here with me. This is like our first sit down video of 2024. I'm so excited to be starting the new year with this video. I feel like it's the perfect way to kind of kick off the new year so that we can move through 2024 with a strong mind. It is literally a game changer. And so if you want to succeed this year, this is a crucial mindset to have. What if I told you that success was guaranteed? What if I told you that success was guaranteed? Like, there's no way you're gonna fail. How different would your life be? What would you be doing differently in your life? Like, literally, what would you be doing today if I told you that there is no way that you are going to fail and that you are only going to succeed in everything that you do? What if I told you that success and well-being and abundance was your birthright? Like, how different would your life be? How much more excited would you be? How much more risks would you be willing to take? How much would you be able to accomplish if success was guaranteed, if abundance was guaranteed, if well-being was guaranteed? And let me tell you something, you have access to all of it at all times, and I'm going to teach you how to access it in today's video. When I started my first business, there was this quote that I feel like I pulled out of thin air. I don't even know if it was a quote before. I don't know if I saw it somewhere, but it is what has pulled me through. It was what kept me going, okay? I had this quote as my background, like my desktop background. I had this quote there, and I would look at it every single time. And it said, God does not put a dream in your heart without giving you the capabilities of achieving it. And I looked at this quote all the time. Like, literally anytime I would open my laptop to do any sort of work, I would see this quote. And as an entrepreneur, when you are in this place of uncertainty, when you are in the unknown and you don't know whether or not this is going to work out, you don't know whether or not you are going to succeed in this, like this is a huge risk that you're taking, you have to have faith like no other. You have to believe that it is going to work out and that all the effort and all the work that you put in it will not go to waste. Like, entrepreneurship is something that's really special, but also something that is so like uncertain. Like, you never really know what could happen. You never really know how much you're going to do this month, how much you're going to do next month, if it's going to succeed, if it's going to fail. You never know. So you really have to hold on to faith. And so that quote is really what kept me down. I really had no choice but to believe that that was true. I had to believe that quote. And I really did. I really believed it. I knew that knowing who God was, He did not want me to fail. He knew that I was working long hours. I was putting in so much work every day, every single prayer. Like, I was asking for help. I was asking for guidance, and I was asking for success. So I believed that there was no way I was going to fail. I trusted that vision. I trusted that dream that God placed in my heart. And I just knew, like, there's no way that I'm going to fail. I knew that if I just kept going, I would win in the end. And although it didn't go exactly as I thought, or exactly as I planned, or exactly as I envisioned, it went better than I could have ever imagined. All praise is due to God. Like, I'm so grateful. Even if I stumbled upon a problem and things weren't going the way that I wanted, or things were falling apart, or things seemed like it wasn't going to work, I always kept that faith, and it always ended up working out. Like, just in the weirdest way ever, it all worked out. When I tell people that they can have anything that they want, they can have the dreams and the things that they truly desire, that they feel called to, that they can do anything that they truly set their mind to, the first comment that I always get and I always see under videos or anything like that is, yeah, well, that's not true, because sometimes God doesn't want certain things for you. Although that is true, it always comes off in such a negative light, in such a negative tone. It makes people feel like their dreams are not achievable. You know what I mean? And it makes it seem like it's out of reach and that God is the bad guy. Like, the way that people use that sentence is just to like shut it down. Like, no, you can't have everything that you desire, because, you know, it's not always going to be meant for you. It's not always going to be your thing. It's not always going to work out. And it's always used in such a negative way and in a negative connotation. And I'm not going to sit here and say that's not true, but hear me out. The truth is, God does not want you to fail. Nothing bad comes from God. And God Himself did say, and I know a lot of you guys are not Muslim, but I know that you can relate this back to whatever faith and religion that you guys practice. And I love seeing the comments where you guys do. And it's like, it's so crazy how all of our faiths are so like similar, but nothing bad comes from him. And that even if something bad that you see as bad, such as like failure or things not going your way, it is not necessarily bad. There is something that is beneficial for you hidden within it. Even if it doesn't turn out exactly how you thought, it will lead to something better. And your hard work never goes to waste. I think the reason why a lot of us never even attempt, never even try to do the things that we feel called to is because we feel like, oh, what if this isn't meant for me? And you're afraid of that wasted time or that wasted potential or that wasted energy. But the truth is, nothing goes to waste. You'll never really know if it's meant for you or not if you don't try and you don't go down the path and you don't move towards the things that benefit you. We are so afraid of wasted time and effort and potential that it literally cripples us. However, it's never wasted. Even if God allows you to work hard on something and put all your time and effort and energy into it, and it fails or it doesn't work out exactly how you thought, it leads to something better every single time. If you stay optimistic and you trust that everything is working in your favor, then you will recognize the doors that this failure is leading you to. You will recognize that the skills and the tools and the resources that you've picked up in that time is beneficial for you, is going to help you move forward. Failures are only doors to greater success. So if you practice and you choose to see things from that light and have that mindset, that's when you will experience the benefit in the failures. As long as you are using your potential and you are grateful and you are optimistic and you are moving towards something that benefits you, you will succeed. You will achieve things that you could have never imagined. I strongly dislike when people shut you down so quickly with, you will never get anything more than what God has willed for you, as if God's will isn't a good thing, as if God's will doesn't come from a place of love for his creation, as if God's will isn't filled with abundance and greatness and goodness and success and amazing things. It is this negative thinking of who God is that keeps a lot of us stuck, that keeps us from taking action and pursuing things that are beneficial for us. The thing that has been itching at the back of your throat since forever, the things that you can't stop thinking about. You have to realize that God is the most abundant and he keeps giving, meaning you are constantly being showered in abundance. And until you choose to recognize that, you're going to live a dull life filled with just poverty. And when I say poverty, I don't just mean money. I mean poverty of happiness, success, abundance, well-being, greatness, ideas, opportunities, all of the above. God does not lead you to failure. It is your negative attitude and your negative way of thinking that leads you to failure. Like Napoleon Hill said, successful are those who are success conscious and failures are those who are failure conscious. And so you have to focus on success and abundance and goodness in your life in order to experience it. Why do you guys think that there was so much hype around Lucky Girl Syndrome? It is because people have recognized the power of positive thinking. Because at the end of the day, when you think positively about your circumstances and your life and all the things that happen to you, you are thinking positively of the one who has brought you those circumstances in your life. And the opposite is true. If you think negatively about your life and your circumstances, then you are thinking negatively about the one who brought you those circumstances, and that leads to ungratefulness. And if you are ungrateful, you will never experience abundance, okay? You will never experience goodness in your life. You will never be able to see past poverty, and that is just the truth. When you have a positive attitude and when you think positively of your circumstances, no matter what it looks like, you are going to be thinking positively of God, and you are going to find it in your heart to be grateful for those things, and then you will be increased. If you have this negative attitude and you think negatively of your circumstances and everything that happens to you, you are thinking negatively of God who has brought you these circumstances, and that leads to being ungrateful, being bitter, being angry, and you wonder why you're not being increased in this life. You wonder why you're not experiencing the greatness and the abundance that everybody else seems to be experiencing. Success and abundance is not far away from you. Success and abundance and well-being is always present. It is always present in your life. You just have to be willing to seek it. You just have to be willing to see it. You just have to be open to it. Once you decide to look for it, you will find it everywhere. And you guys know how when I decided to look for well-being, I found that it was all around me. Even though I was living in the same house with the same people, surrounded by the same things, my environment never changed. However, I found so many ways in my life to be grateful, to be happy, to just experience greatness and success in my life. I didn't have to go outside and change something in my environment. I just had to change what was in my heart, okay? By changing the way that I thought about things, by changing the way that I saw things, by choosing to overcome my negative emotions and my negative thoughts every single time. I'm telling you, you know exactly what you need to do to make your dreams your reality. We have just been taught and programmed to not trust it, to not trust ourselves, to not trust God. So how can we learn to trust ourselves and trust God so that way we can bridge the gap between where we are and where we want to be? First thing is you really have to become observant of your own emotions, thinking, and just the way that you feel about your life and about abundance and about success. How do you think and feel when you think about your dreams and your aspirations and actually being able to do and achieve big things? If you say everything is by God's will, how does it make you feel? Do you feel like this is all you're ever going to be? Because if you could be anything better than this, if you could be doing better than this, then you would have already been doing it because it would have been, God's will. Do you know what I mean? Like when you think of God's will, do you have a negative feeling to it? Or do you feel excited about like everything is God's will? So I'm going to go after my dreams. I'm going to go and take risks. I'm going to do the hard things because no matter what, I'll always be guided by God, and everything that happens to me is by God's will, and He loves me, and He's abundant, and He's going to bless me, and He's always on my side, and He's always rooting for me. How do you think of God? How do you think of your situation? How do you think of your circumstances? How do you think of your dreams? And how do you think of your achievements? If you feel negatively towards it, you're going to have to ask yourself, why do I feel so negatively towards this? The way you think about God is how you will experience life. It'll either move you forward, keep you curious, keep you excited, keep you optimistic, or it's going to cripple you with sadness and anxiety. And the scariest part of it all is, and I'm Muslim, so I can only reference Islam, but God says that He is to His servants what they think of Him to be. So if you think subconsciously, right, because you might not even be aware of how you think of God until maybe you see this video. But if you subconsciously have negative thoughts of God, of like, oh, why does negative things keep happening to me? God is punishing me, whatever you think, that is how you are going to experience Him. That is how you're going to experience life. It is so crucial to think of God in a positive light. What inspired me to actually make this video was this story that I posted on Instagram a few days ago. And it's this hadith that I think about a lot. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "The strong believer is more beloved to Allah than the weak believer. But there is goodness in both of them. Be eager for what benefits you. Seek help from Allah and do not be frustrated. If something befalls you, then do not say, if only I had done something else. Rather say, Allah has decreed what He willed. Verily the phrase, if only, opens the way for the work of shaitan." This hadith really empowers me, because when I tell you guys to go after your dream and to take risks and to do things that will benefit you in this life, it is because it makes you mentally stronger, okay? When you are in this place of uncertainty and you don't know exactly how you're going to get there, exactly how things are going to plan out, or exactly how things are going to work out, you have to rely on God more. There is no one that you could rely on other than Him. And so it doesn't pull you away from Him, but it brings you closer. When you say God has decreed his will, it is supposed to bring your heart comfort. It is supposed to bring you ease. It's not supposed to make you depressed. It's not supposed to upset you. What God wills is always going to be better for you. So you are going to appreciate and love what has been decreed for you and what God has willed for you more than you do what you could have imagined. And so it is about going after the best that you can imagine for yourself, the things that you believe will benefit you, and moving towards it. And God will always guide you to whatever is better for you, even if it's not exactly what you imagine. So it's supposed to bring your heart comfort and peace and ease. It's not supposed to make it more difficult. It's not supposed to depress you. It's not supposed to make you think, oh, well, this is all that I'll ever be, because if I could be better than this, then I would have already been doing better, because God wouldn't have decreed this. You know what I mean? Like, it's how you think of it is how you experience it. And so you have to be really careful with how you think of these things. I say this in every video, but you have to get extremely clear on what your vision is. If you don't have a vision and you don't know, you don't have this huge dream, or you don't know exactly what you want in life, that is okay. But just begin by pursuing something that benefits you. And what you can start with is the basics, like body, mind, soul, career, or finances. Once you start moving towards something, you will unlock new levels of awareness that will then allow you to move to different things or different paths or bigger things and better things, as long as you are on the pursuit for better and you are on the pursuit of growth and success and to just be better and continue building something for yourself. You will have different eras of your life. You will, pursue different things. You will try different things. So it's really about just starting somewhere. Your job is to pursue something that will benefit you and then take aligned action. Everything else will fall into place for you and will be taken care of for you. Another thing that you have to be willing to do is really just trust your imagination. You visualize, your dream, and trust that image, trust that mental image that you hold for yourself. And the reason why this is so important is because when you are able to visualize and describe where you want to go and where you want to head, that's what's going to help you take aligned action. That's what's going to help you actually start moving towards that goal. If I think about my life now, it's crazy because everything that I have now, the person that I am now, everything that I am currently experiencing is what I daydreamed about when I was in middle school. And I would constantly imagine everything that I am now. And although my journey and my path didn't go exactly as I thought it would, exactly as I imagined it, it was a vision that I held on so dearly in my heart that I was able to take aligned action, and with the guidance of God, I've been able to get here. And you really have to think about it in this way. And it's everything starts as an image in somebody's mind. Like this chair that I'm currently sitting on, someone imagined and then took aligned action to make it happen. And also, just to be clear, your imagination comes from God. Your thoughts and your ideas come from God. So it's not like you just create these on your own. They come from God himself. And so that's another thing that you can be grateful for as well. Every single time, every single prayer, I don't just thank God for everything that I already have in my physical reality, but I also thank God for the vision that he's given me that I move towards every single day. Like, you don't have to just be grateful for the things that you have now, but it's also important to be grateful for the things that you've yet to obtain or the things that you've yet to experience. Another thing is you have to believe in abundance. Like I said, abundance is not reserved for a handful of people. It's not reserved for a type of person, but it is available to everyone at all times. It's not the fact that there isn't enough for everyone that keeps you in poverty, but it's the fact that you think that there isn't enough for everyone that keeps you in poverty. And like I said, I'm not talking about poverty money-wise, and I'm not talking about abundance money-wise either, okay? Just making that one clear. Just making it clear, okay? It's your own mind and your own perception about how things are that keeps you in shackles, that keeps you from experiencing and opening up to abundance and well-being. If you believe in God and you believe that only God can give to you and only God can take from you, and you also believe that God is the owner of the heavens and the earth and everything in between and that he's abundant, how can you look at another person with envy? How can you see other people as competition? How could you be ungrateful? How are you worried that what you have can be taken away from you by another person? How can you have lack mindset where you think that there isn't enough money, tools, opportunity, resources, space for everyone? You have to focus on yourself and what you have, and you have to be grateful for it. You must love for other people what you love for yourself. The truth is, you will never be able to take away from another person. Only God could take away from them. And what God decides to do for someone is of their own benefit. While your eyes are on other people, you are missing out on the abundance in front of you. You're missing out on the opportunities in front of you. You're missing out on the opportunity of asking and reaching out to the owner of the heavens and the earth and everything in between and asking him to bless you. Like, you're literally missing out on your own abundance and well-being and success and love and just greatness because you are so focused on looking around. Practice having an abundance mindset by being grateful for everything in your life, by being grateful for the things that you have, for the things that you've yet to receive, but that image that you hold in your head. Be grateful for the ideas that you get. Be grateful for the journey that you are on. Be grateful for every moment. Be grateful for the hardships, even if you can't see the good in them yet. Once you are able to practice that gratitude, watch how everything in your life just doubles, triples, and expands. The way to practice abundance is by, instead of looking at other people and what they're doing and seeing them as competition and, worrying about them, focus on your own game. Practice having an abundant mindset by looking at those people who have less than you than constantly looking at the people who have more. Practice having an abundant mindset by being generous with your money, spending it on things that benefit you, spending it on things that benefit other people, and trusting that it'll come back tenfold. To experience abundance and success, another thing that you have to do is practice patience and refrain from reactive living. I tweeted this tweet once not too long ago, and I said, choosing your own destiny is stepping away from reactive living and embracing patience during challenging moments. It's about maintaining a positive outlook, navigating uncertainty with trust, seeking guidance through prayer, pursuing knowledge, and embodying a strong character. You are not always in control of everything that happens to you. This is God's world, and surrendering is key. Utilize your free will by responding thoughtfully rather than simply reacting. And remember that it is God who you are either reacting or responding to. When I was trying to build my trust with God and really just trust that everything was working out for me and trust in my vision, when I was trying to build that, because now I feel like I've gotten to a place in my life where even if I'm going through something really challenging or something really tough, I can feel grateful and excited and really just have this sense of well-being because I know that better is going to come, because I know that I'm leveling up in some way, because I know that there is something in here for me to learn, something in here for me to experience. I've been able to learn to have patience in those tougher times, but it was because I was practicing these things and really, really trying and putting in the effort. And so you have to learn and practice to not react to everything. You have to stop complaining. Every time I would catch myself complaining, I was like, okay, I would literally catch myself complaining and I'd be like, okay, Bahja, we're not going to be complaining. Everything is working out exactly how it's supposed to. This is a blessing in disguise. The reason why you were a little bit late today could be because God is saving you from something. And this is something that took me months to practice again and again. I would catch myself complaining. Even now, I'll catch myself complaining and I'm like, oh, you better pipe it down, girl. Don't complain. Anytime you catch yourself complaining, stop and remember that this moment is a gift, even if you can't see it yet. It is for your own well-being. It is for your own growth. It is for your own success. You really have to practice this mindset, this abundant mindset, the patience, the trust in God, the trust in your vision, the trust in, yourself again and again and again until it becomes second nature. The only way to activate a new mindset is by practicing and figuring out through observation what is this limiting belief that you hold? What is holding you back from being able to trust and believe this? What is holding you back from being able to feel worthy? You really have to get to the core of it and then practice a new mindset, practice a new emotion of being grateful in that moment where you would have complained before. As you continue experiencing life and as you continue to cultivate this mindset, you will then create more evidence for yourself that this is true. This is the truth. But you have to seek it and be patient. The first time that I decided that I was going to practice patience when I was going through a really difficult and a really tough time, I didn't have evidence in my life before that supported good is going to come after. I had to really sit in that time and be patient and be patient and be patient and be patient and have faith and trust that it was all going to work out, that better was going to come, that, you know, this was a blessing from God. Even though I didn't necessarily believe it because I didn't have evidence before, now I can look back and say I needed that moment to be the person that I am today. But for months, I couldn't see how this was going to benefit me, but I had to have trust and I had to have faith that it was going to work out. Now that serves as evidence for me. All of those times are now evidence for me, which is why I'm so able to kind of seamlessly think that way and just have that positive outlook on life. And so you will build evidence for yourself if you've never experienced the power of positive thinking. Even if you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel right now, even if you're so deep into a tough time, negative ideas, negative mindset, just know that one day this, as long as you decide to stay strong and hold on to that faith, one day this moment is going to be evidence for you that there is light at the end of the tunnel, that there is a good time that comes after a hard one. But you really have to be strong. Changing your mindset, changing your beliefs, overcoming limiting beliefs, all these things really, really, really takes a lot of effort and energy and time and a lot of practice. But you have to know that success and abundance and well-being is accessible to you at all times, in all areas of your life. What you seek, you will find. So always look for the good, always look for the positive, always look for the benefits, always have a success mindset, be success conscious, and you will experience it in your life. That is all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I feel like it was a quick one, but it was just something that's been on my mind and on my heart, and so I wanted to share it with you guys. I hope this is a great way to, enter the new year. If we have this mindset, and I'm saying we because it's myself included, at the end of 2024, we're gonna have to come back to this video and in the comments type out how things went, because I promise you this mindset will change everything for you. I love you so much. I wish you the best of luck with all of your endeavors, with all of the things that you decide to pursue this year, and I hope to see you next time.